And we're back! Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey chapter 54? Yeah, 54. It is Thursday, aka the Vampire Killer workout. I am looking forward to it. I'm feeling very calm, cool, relaxed, and chilling. Upper body feels pretty good. Nothing feels achy wakey, you know. A little bit of the lower body, but it doesn't even matter. On my way to the gym right now. I found out recently that they're closing down the second best gym in the area, so I'll probably go to that one a couple more times, but not today because I didn't plan on it. So if I plan on it, then I'll probably end up going, but that'll probably be like next week. I might go a couple times next week just because why not? It's gonna close. So anyways, very annoying also, but when we get to that episode, we'll get there. For now, I would like to say a couple of words on today's sponsor. No one. But anyways, so today's video topic is something that I was looking at my list of video topic ideas, and I was like, is it time? I think it's time. I am currently a little hungry right now, so it made me think of this. I think that's what it is, subconsciously, but also maybe just the idea of it generally just popped up. But today's video subject, as you might have seen from the title and the thumbnail, because I'm assuming I'm going to make it ridiculous as fuck, is abs. Yes, we are discussing abs. The often forgotten fourth body part when doing workouts and stuff, along with the neck, the forearms, and the calves. The abs are the ones that are forgotten, but also not forgotten at all. It is interesting to think that the abs are the first thing that somebody looks at when you look at a physique and when judging it, when they're completely nude or just topless. And it is something that most people would at least not necessarily desire to have. Like, not everybody wants to be skinny enough to see their abs, but also I don't think anybody would be like, oh man, I got abs, you know, like regardless of weight size. I don't think anybody would against having them per se. That is generally speaking, of course. Obviously there are some use cases where it would make no sense, you know, whatever. But the point of it is that they are often forgotten in the sense that people don't actually train them, which is kind of crazy. Like, most people should train them regardless. I think they are a muscle that should be trained regardless of whether or not you want them to show, because even if you don't want them to show, you still want them strong because they help you out a lot, like in all lifts, and not even just lifts, but generally in life. They help with your posture, they help with your torso in general. Just having the muscle there or just having the strength there in that area is very useful. Thank you for making me seem like an asshole. Fucking A. It is probably one of the most, it's forgotten in the sense that nobody works it out, but it is the number one when people look at physiques in order to discuss them, because it's the moment that you look at a physique and then you don't see like abs, like defined abs, it's instantaneous, like, you know? Yeah, there's literally memes about it, you know, like the entire, you say you're a bodybuilder and then the first thing they ask is, let me see your abs, and then it's like, I'm not gonna disregard the entire genetics thing, because everybody has a set of abs, but who knows what they look like. For a lot of people, they don't know what they look like, but also for some people, they get different genetics for it, so sometimes they have a 4-pack, a 2-pack, you know, one of those two packs, you know, it all just depends. I personally want to see mine, so that's why I've been in the cut forever. Personally, that, and also I want to get to a certain weight and then I can relax, because then I will be at a weight that is not too small but also not too big, because I've been too big for a lot of my life. So that's why abs are just a nice bonus. If I get to see them when I get to my goal weight, great. If I don't get to see them, I'm not going to lose any more to do that. I don't want to get that much skinnier than that weight, so we'll see how that goes. But still, I am training them, because if there's anything I've learned from watching all of YouTube and or just general fitness stuff, if you don't train them, it's not going to grow, and if it doesn't grow, well, you're not going to see them. So regardless of how much fat you have, if you train them, it will grow, and then it could poke through the fat. And even though technically fat reduction doesn't exist technically, you can work out the muscle around there where the fat is and let it, you know, poke through. That is something that is possible. But anyways, that's just the reality of it. So for me personally, you know, if I don't see my abs in the next 10 pounds or so, I'm not going to be too worried about it, but also I really want to see them. So I'm like, for some people, they have to diet down to extreme amounts in order to see them. In other cases, they don't have to diet down that much. In fact, some people people are huge. Case in point, Eddie Hall, who I will hopefully put a picture of here, who's a big guy, big dude, strong dude. You can see his abs through his fat basically, but that's because he's a strong man, so he uses them a lot for his lifts, and that's why you should train him regardless. There's something that is not trained often enough. You see people do all their splits and stuff and they just don't train them at all, and then like they have issues with other lifts and they're like, you know, I need a belt or something like that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna shit on people who need belts and stuff, but I'm also like, you can train that so then you don't necessarily need that until you're starting to get into like higher and higher weights, you know what I mean? You can bring your floor up a lot more than doing something like that. You know, your floor shouldn't be like so low that you need a belt for something, so not as much as, like, to give you an example, like a 225 deadlift, you know, you don't necessarily need a belt for that, but like you can raise your floor without a belt, and like by working on your abs and core in order to make sure that that goes up, and then you can push the limit of what your belt will give you extra at the top, you know what I mean? That's not even a whole conversation for a different day. That's literally it. But anyways, yeah, I'm hoping to see them soon. They're there. I know they exist in the right lighting, and after a pump or two, I can almost make out the lines of them. Almost. But at the same time, I'm like, it's like the elusive thing. I want to see them, but they'll come to me eventually. But I don't want to rush them, because if I rush them, it's not going to be fun for anybody. With that being said, tell me what you think about abs in the comment. I'm very curious, and we'll talk more about it on the inside. All right, so on this day we start off with overhead press, which went relatively well. Obviously, my pressing strength has stayed a little stagnant, but I'm not necessarily that worried about it. All right, so on to the subject matter at hand when we're talking about abs. Now, I feel like I need to start this conversation off with the entirety of body dysmorphia. Now, this is going to be a whole other subject for a whole other video, but I want to discuss this a little bit before, and that is to say that, is there some influence from others outside on the entire abs thing? Of course, because that's just how we are as humans. We are influenced by the outside world. It's not that anything I can do about it. It's just literally leaving our mental cage of our own mind. We are influenced by everything around us. But with that being said, I don't want to put that on anybody else, because my personal want for abs is my personal want. I want them since I have seen them in animes and in shows and things like that. It is not something that has been influenced by me by a particular set or group of people and stuff like that, as well as the entire idea of ab anxiety as well being a part of it, where ab anxiety is where once you get abs, you don't want to let them go, that entire thing. So you forever stay small because you're afraid of losing them, which I don't think I am. I want to see them, obviously, but I've also lived so long without them that if I don't keep them, I can just go back. It's not like I haven't been there, done that, you know what I mean? So that is obviously something to be aware of, especially when talking about abs, because abs are something that people will, I wouldn't say freak out about, but they're something that others will influence you on, obviously. And I think you have to just kind of be determined on what you want. For me personally, because of what my goal body is, which I'll discuss in a different video, but what my goal body is, that happens to include abs. So that's why I want them, or at least see them, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I've never actually seen them. So there is a chance I have shit ab genetics where I have like them, like, you know, staggered, and then I have like a 3-pack or some weird shit like that. I don't know. I actually genuinely have no idea. The only way to really find out is to just get down there, figure it all out, grow them, and then see what they're like afterwards. And then hopefully I can figure it out, because if they suck, then all right, I don't mind having a little bit of a gut. I mean, I don't mind it. I've had it all my life, so I don't necessarily care for not seeing it, and I'd rather stay in a slightly more weight if I could make the rest of my body grow bigger. So that's why I just want to see it and then determine it from there. Speaking about that, you also don't need that much technically to grow the actual abs, which is actually crazy. It only takes like 6 to 9 sets a week, which isn't much at all. I don't think people realize how little is needed to actually grow the abs. I've actually gone from, I used to do 9 sets to 6 sets, and my shit is still growing now, so that's crazy. As well as the inclusion of pullovers have helped as well. Doing pullovers really helps work the serratus, so the sides of the abs, and that, like, you can see
see sometimes when I'm shirtless, you can see the abdominal wall there. So it's kind of nice. Would recommend pullovers for a lot of different reasons, but that's one of the multitude of reasons why pullovers are great. Pullovers are another reason why I could see my lats too from the front, but that's a whole other discussion. But you only really need one, maybe two movements for abs. That's all you really need when it comes down to them as well. For me personally, I exchange it between two only because I do leg raises and decline sit-ups. The only reason I stopped doing decline sit-ups was because I was having some hip issues, but that was due to, I think it was just hip tightness from squats. I did a lot of squatting, so that's really it. It's not because of those. I don't think it was because of the decline sit-ups, so that's why I had to do that. But I had been doing leg raises before then, so I just switched from one to the other. But you don't need more than that afterwards. You could probably just stick to one until you master it and then add the second one. But you really don't need that much in order to grow them. I'm still doing body weight and it's still growing. And that's the other thing I always recommend most people do it. I say it in this video multiple times, but for real, it is great to do them. And I've found that doing them, any ab training has really helped generally my general strength in all lifts, because I can actually brace a little bit better and as well just hold my core together better. There's more endurance in that area, so I'm not losing my technique in the middle of it because my core just gives out. So that's why I would also recommend most people do it. And then what I wouldn't recommend, honestly, is that some people like to do those like weird 15-minute circuits where they do it like once a month, where they do like planks with like decline sit-ups with like something else and then something else. Whatever circuit that takes 15 minutes to do and it's just like a crazy amount of ab work all at once is way too much and way too little at the same time, if that makes any sense. Because you don't necessarily need that much stimulus. Like I said, 6 to 9 sets, that's all you need. But also too much stimulus all at once. So people will do the 15-minute ab burn workout once a month and think that's enough, but it isn't enough in the long term. You're gonna do a bunch of shit in a very short amount of time, burn out your abs, and then never want to do it again, and maybe not do it again ever because it fucking sucked. But then let's say you do it once a month, that's not enough to grow the abs. So that's why 6 to 9 sets is all you really need, and you can just do it wherever with whatever. What is it? Ab exercises that all you technically need is something to hold your feet down, and you can just do sit-ups from the floor. That's really it. You don't need much to grow them. You don't even need weight, honestly. So they are something that I recommend most people do, because like I said, the transfer over from having abdominal strength to other exercises is great. And not only just exercises, but generally in life when you're picking shit up, that having core strength will save your lower back. And that is something that I know people who have fucked up their back. So, you know, getting it from the front will save your back or save your ass, almost literally. So just be careful about that. It also doesn't take long to add or superset it into something else as well. So if you're doing exercise, just add it in somewhere else. If you're doing like a machine, you can do it right there, right after. Have the decline bench next to the machine you were using. Or pull-ups, like I do them, I superset them with pull-ups. Just superset them anywhere, and you only have to do it twice in a week. Just 2 sets of 3, and boom, you're good to go. You don't need to do much. Just train your abs. Just do it somewhere.
I'm doing my part. And we're back! Hello, and welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises skipped, none. Exercises not filmed. Farmer's carries, because it always sucks to film, but I did them, so that was nice. But anyways, so back to the main subject at hand. Actually, before we get to the main subject at hand, I am feeling tired. I am destroyed right now. I am hungry. I think tomorrow's video will be about the bodybuilder diet, and I haven't put that in quotes because it's always the chicken, rice, and vegetables that it always is, but we'll talk about that tomorrow because there's a lot of crock of horse shit, you know, particularly the enhanced guys, but we'll get to that tomorrow. But today I want to finish off on abs and the reason why I even brought that up, because of the asinine statement of abs are made in the kitchen, which in reality, no, they are not made in the kitchen. Abs are revealed in the kitchen, but they are built in the gym. So if you build them high before you have to reveal them, you don't have to do as much to reveal them. So you don't have to get to ridiculous amounts of body fat in order to show them. You know, personally, I've always wanted to see my abs. I just want to see what they look like. You know, it's just like I want to know what did I get on the ab genetics. I've been fat for such a long time in my life that I don't even know where they would look like at all. So I would just want to see them. So eventually I will probably diet down to see them more, but right now I just want to get to a certain weight and then just stay there. Maybe I can recomp my way into abs, who knows, but we'll have to wait and see. But any such case, tell me what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions about abs, because abs are generally an interesting thing to talk about, and or something that some people have, some people don't, some people want to see it, some people don't. So it all just depends. So I'm actually very curious to hear what your opinion is. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Today's little post section is a little short, but that's just because I probably have a lot to say in between, and right now I got nothing much else to add. So I'd rather not waste your time. But thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I will be back on tomorrow with another video. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you on the next one. Peace.